Hi, my name is Dr. Muhammad Habib Qazi. So this video is about close reading as a basis for analysis and theory application. We need to understand that there are different types of analysis. Like we have textual analysis, we have discourse analysis, we have stylistics analysis, then critical discourse analysis, textual analysis, gender analysis, literary analysis, and so on and so forth. However, the most important point is in the basis of all these analysis, we have close reading. If you do not know how to read the text closely, you'll not be able to carry out any kind of analysis. So, it's a close reading which is central to all forms of analysis. It is foundational for various theoretical approaches. By that I mean, if you intend to apply a theory, you need to make sure that you understand the text well. And that's possible if you develop the techniques of close reading. So, without close reading skills, analyzing text from any perspective becomes extremely challenging. Similarly, close reading is closely tied to a writing process because it's a close reading which identifies issues or problems that need an analysis. The goal is to demonstrate how a work achieves unity, balance, and harmony. So, first of all, what you need to ignore when you carry out a close reading for the purpose of analysis, you disregard writer's life. It's also called biographical fallacy. It means while carrying out an analysis, you'll not be considering writer's life, how the writer lived. And then we have writer's meaning because the text belongs to the reader. It no longer belongs to the writer because writer has already written. So you won't be searching for writer's meaning. You'll not be looking for what writer intended through that text. It's also known as intentional fallacy. Similarly, you need to ignore the socio-political and cultural conditions of the time when the text was written, when the writer wrote the text. You won't consider that while carrying out your analysis, and you'll be avoiding your subjective emotions. It's also known as affective fallacy. Maybe it identifies with some of your own personal experiences, but while analyzing the text you will ignore your subjective position. Then the next question is, what will you be focusing on? So first and foremost, you'll be reading the text several times. It's not possible to read the text just once and understand it. And while reading, you'll be focusing on its structure, the themes which it carries, and various textual elements existing in the text. For example, if you are reading a literary work, a literary text, you'll be identifying tensions or ambiguities existing in the text. What are tensions and ambiguities? The problems which need solution, which need an analysis and understanding. And you will also identify how the work sustains or achieves meaning. So, how to do that? By examining imagery, character, plot, setting, point of view, symbols, and the language use. And by language use, I mean the denotation, connotation, metaphor, simile, personification, rhythm. So you need to understand all this. You need to identify all this within the text. Once the process starts, you will formulate a general question which identifies the problem, the tension in the text. And this would lead to a fruitful discussion for you. After you have identified the problem, after you have formulated a general question, you need to reread the work. While so doing, you'll be paying particular attention to the questions which you have generated. So I would also advise you to take notes and where you should be focusing on your central question. Then, after having done this part, you'll be constructing a working thesis that makes a claim about the work and accounts for the following. What does the work mean? How does the work artistically demonstrate the theme you have identified? And then, so what question? By that I mean, why is it important for you to write about this work? What will reader learn from reading your interpretation? The next step is revise your paper. This will include revising your original thesis statement and restructuring your paper to best support the thesis. Why? Because when you made the initial thesis statement, you did have some understanding on the basis of your reading of the text. However, now you have the supporting evidence available from the text, so you may consider restructuring your paper to best support the thesis. Please note that you probably will revise many times, so it is important to receive feedback at every stage if possible. Then you will edit and proofread your work for correctness, clarity, and style. Here's the poem. Love is not all. So I would like you to go through the poem carefully. So the working thesis on the basis of this poem is it is an ironic poem that suggests that even though love is not needed for survival, it is still necessary for human existence. Now make a working outline of ideas. So what love is not? Love is not meat, drink, slumber, roof, mast, breath, blood, bone. The irony is, love is so powerful, but it's not physically essential. However, some would kill themselves because of a lack of love. But maybe some would surpass love for food, trade it, or sell it. So the question is, would I give love away for essentials, which means food, etc.? Affirmation on the basis of reading of the poem is love is more valuable than food, etc. Love is irreplaceable because there's no other emotion like it. On the basis of your understanding, the ending tension is I do not think I would. Seems uncertain, thus reaffirming the ambiguity and tension of the poem. So, what's going to be your revised thesis? Edna St. Vincent Mill's poem, Love is Not All, is centered around a paradox. Love is not needed for physical survival, but seems needed for emotional survival. The poem displays this by paradox and tension. Our next video is going to be how to apply theory on a non literary text. Thank you.